Why is your body weight important? I don't mind your thoughts about your weight, but if you have hypothyroidism, shouldn't you learn to be content with your weight? Your body weight may be the best indicator of thyroid function, and since up to 80% of thyroid patients experience weight gain, many thyroid patients do not have their thyroid under control. For this reason, I believe it's worthwhile to spend some time discussing how much you should weigh if you have hypothyroidism before we discuss how much you should weigh. We need to quickly talk about your weight and the distinction between it and body composition if you have a thyroid condition. A thyroid patient's desire to lose weight actually means that they want to lose fat. They simply happen to associate a decrease in their weight on a scale with a decrease in the amount of fat on their body. Your weight, as measured on a scale, represents the sum total of everything that's in your body, including both your muscles and your fat. However, as we will soon discuss, this isn't always the case because fat makes up a relatively small percentage of your total body composition. For example, the average body fat percentage for a man is between 18 and 23%, while the average for a woman is between 25 and 30%. In contrast, your fat muscle makes up about 40% of your weight, meaning that it contributes more to your weight on a scale than your fat. If we want to talk about weight in thyroid patients, we must include both fat muscle and height. If you have a thyroid issue, you can start by calculating your BMI by simply going to the link in the description below and entering both your height and weight. This is because it just doesn't make sense to compare the body weight of a woman who is 5'1" to another woman who is 5'11". Therefore, your BMI is a good place to start when addressing how much you should weigh. Although it is not perfect, it still considers both your height and weight and generates a number that is strongly correlated with body fat, and it will provide you with a number. If it shows a value greater than 25, you are overweight. If it shows a value larger than 30, you are obese. The higher your BMI, the more body fat you will have. It's that easy. If you're like most people, this is typically when you're feeling down or self-conscious. Just take a moment to think about that. Everyone has agency and can make choices that have caused them to gain weight. I didn't ask you to calculate your BMI to make you feel depressed. Rather, I asked you to do so you could better understand what it means in terms of thyroid function. If you review what I said at the beginning, everything will start to make sense if your weight is a good proxy for thyroid function. Hypothyroidism is a condition that encourages easy weight gain and makes weight loss more difficult. As a result, the BMI for most hypothyroid patients is higher than the average and sits at around 29 to 30 for women. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video. Patients who are overweight and have a thyroid condition can then begin to make claims about how well their thyroid is working. This assumes that there are no other factors at play, which is frequently not the case. For example, you cannot blame your high BMI on your thyroid if you are also consuming a lot of soda and potato chips. However, if you are eating a healthy diet, it can provide you with helpful information about how well your thyroid is functioning. Let's discuss how to achieve the ideal BMI range if you have a thyroid condition. Getting your BMI into the range of roughly 18.5 to 24.9 is your objective if you have hypothyroidism. While knowing where you need to be is simple, getting there will be a little more challenging, but it might not be as difficult as you think. Treating your thyroid will probably enable some easy weight loss if your BMI is primarily elevated due to low thyroid function. The best way to get to this point is with thyroid medications. And I frequently observe that once thyroid patients optimize their dosage of thyroid medication, they begin to lose weight without even altering their diet or how much exercise they do. And this is because thyroid medications contain active thyroid hormones, some of which are stronger than others, which increase thyroid function and speed up your metabolism. However, what if you are one of the many thyroid patients who are already taking thyroid medication, but aren't seeing a decrease in your weight? If that describes you, there are two possible reasons. Either you aren't as active or healthy as you should be, or you aren't taking the right type or dosage of thyroid medication, which is fairly common. Both of these issues can be resolved, though, and both can lower your BMI. The first step in adopting a healthy lifestyle is to start eating well and exercising regularly. This will naturally improve thyroid function, so switching up your medication may not even be necessary once you improve your lifestyle. If you are already eating well and finding it difficult to lose weight, adding both T3 and T2 to your current thyroid medication routine will solve your problem. You can also lose fat by building muscle. Thyroid patients need a lot of energy to maintain their muscles, which are extremely active tissues. Because maintaining muscle needs a lot of energy, people with larger muscular mass will naturally be thinner. When it comes to measuring thyroid weight loss, the majority of thyroid patients experience a lack of muscle mass because they aren't giving their muscles the protein they require. If you are not actively consuming 100 grams of protein per day, you are likely hamstringing your metabolism without realizing it. Don't worry though, because you can fix this by simply changing your diet, and you can do that immediately. When it comes to body measurements, the worst method for thyroid patients is using a scale to track their weight. This is because people with thyroid dysfunction tend to retain fluid, which can lead to drastic fluctuations in weight as recorded on a scale. However, if you utilize your scale properly, you can still obtain some useful information from it rather than relying just on your daily reading. You can get a more accurate picture of what's going on in your body by taking average measurements over a period of 7 to 14 days. This will also help to account for the fluid I mentioned, but if you want to get even more precise, I would advise taking body measurements and measuring your BMI. When you are trying to lose weight, these two measurements will give you a far better sense of how much fat mass you are losing. But why is all of this important? There is a lot of pressure on people these days to just love their bodies as they are. So if that's how you want to think, go for it. However, if you ask me why I want you to control your weight, it's because being at a normal weight indicates that your thyroid is functioning better, that you are less likely to develop chronic, debilitating illnesses, that you are less likely to develop cancer, that you are happier, and that you are more likely to enjoy life. Tragically, I believe that a lot of thyroid patients have simply accepted that they will always be overweight. However, this couldn't be further from the reality. 99.9% of the time, thyroid patients can maintain their ideal body weight, but doing so requires avoiding some common pitfalls. If you'd like to see a list of the most frequent mistakes thyroid patients make when attempting to lose weight, make sure to check